welcome back Arcadians. Alex here with another channel update. How you all doing, guys? You all ready for Christmas? That mad rush for that one day of the year, but you know what, we need it. We've had such a terrible year, haven't we? So if it means that you get to see your family and friends, then it's worth it just for that one day. But don't stress out, guys. Please do not stress at Christmas. If you don't have the money, it doesn't matter. It's just about meeting up with people, meeting up with friends, especially after, you know, the lockdowns that we've had and this horrible virus that's been going around. I'll be really happy to see my family this year. But anyway, what's been happening in the old Nintendo arcade? Well, I'll tell you what, I came down this morning and Sega Hang On doesn't work. Just got a scrambled screen, so Martin, I'm sorry about that, dude, but it hasn't moved. I haven't done anything. I've literally just turned it on. It doesn't work. Such a shame. Golf has been sold. I sold it to my friend Fraser. Went down there to see Fraser. Fantastic arcade. Hopefully do a game room tour of his place next year. Got some really interesting machines and a beautiful garage too. Zookeeper, playing a hell of a lot. Still haven't got that 1 million point jump yet, but I did get 120,000 jump the other day, which I'm really chuffed with. Top score is around 150,000 at the moment. Absolutely loving this game. But the one thing that does frustrate me, annoy me more than anything, is the sound effects running on the attract screen, which I can't turn off. It's so annoying because it's running on the FPGA board. There's no settings in there. I've looked. I can't turn the sound effects off, which is really annoying. I love the attract screen going, but I don't want to hear all the sound effects. So I'm, you know, definitely going to get the actual board at some point. There's my top score, 392,000. Not bad, huh? But still need to knock the top player off, Ryan. Still yet to do that. Astro Blaster, I will probably be selling, guys, because I want to put Donkey Kong in its place. And you know what? I've killed that game. I've played it so much. I absolutely love it. It is an absolutely fantastic game. And if I had space, I'd keep it. But, you know, I've got to a point where I just can't get any further. Oh, and it does things like this. What a terrible noise. I think that is an earth problem. So it does that. It's been doing that quite a lot, actually. I don't know why. There we go. If it happens again, I'll turn it off. But yeah, it's a bit temperamental, Astro Blaster. But big thanks to Gav for fixing that for me. Gav, you're a genius, mate. And fixing my Robotron as well. Robotron is now working, which is great. One of my favourite games ever is working again. So Gav, thank you so much, because I know that was a hard work fixing that, really, because the board was knackered. So well done, mate. Really appreciate that. Been playing, always playing a bit of Vectrex. Tempest is my game, my favourite Vector games. I've been playing a lot of that. And I actually got these extension leads here, these extension cables, because I was fed up with shining a torch underneath the Vectrex to get the controller in the ports. It's so difficult to see, and it's really tight as well. Especially with my broken arm, it's so difficult trying to get those in there. So James G. Watt makes these. They're brilliant. Extension is so much easier, and also you don't damage the ports as well. They don't look particularly nice hanging out the Vectrex like that, but they do make the life a lot easier, so I totally recommend them, guys. I've got my Famicom out. I think I touched a little bit on this on the last video. I need to get that fixed because I've been picking up some Famicom games. Down here I've got loads of gifts, loads of pickups which we're going to get through, guys. Loads of stuff to show you this week, and lots of people to thank. A lot of people to thank. Over here you can see Outzone. Do you know anything about Outzone? Have you played Outzone, guys? If you're a console collector, you probably haven't, because it didn't make any ports over to any system. It is an absolutely fantastic shoot 'em up. I absolutely love it. I love the art style. The graphics are really bold, really bright, vibrant graphics, and it's a fantastic game. And I'm running this on the Raspberry Pi, sorry. And I've got a SNES adapter, so I'm using a SNES controller, so I can use my Sheikah arcade stick to play the arcade games. Fantastic game by Topman, brilliant. Top score there, 156,000. It is a rock hard game, but I love it, absolutely love it. And I do actually have a board of this game, which is actually being repaired as we speak. So hopefully going to get this out zone in the jammer cab for a future video, you know, maybe a review, a gameplay. Got my BBC Micro set up now, which I want to do a video on, because I've been buying a lot of BBC Micro games. There's a new book that's just come out I want to show you. A lot of nostalgia for the BBC Micro, just as much as a Sinclair Spectrum. And I'm playing the fantastic Cybertron. Any game with the name Cyber and Tron in, it's got to be worth playing, guys. It really has. I mean, look at it, Cybertron. It's so cool. It's a really cool game. And on the Switch, I'm still playing The Messenger. I'm about a third of the way through, still loving it. Think it's a fantastic action platforming game. Can't recommend it enough, guys. Brilliant. Wizard of War, Commando. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that, as you noticed in my last video with my son. We actually really love playing this. Brilliant game. Space Invaders down, Rescue's down. Got a power supply problem with that. But the game, guys, the game I've been playing non-stop is Defender. And I'm happy to report that I've broken the 100,000 mark. I've been trying to get over 100,000 for the last 3 months. I've been down here twice a day, playing it about 20 times a day, and there you can see 117,625. And I've not only got it once, I've got it twice. So it wasn't a fluke, you know. My gameplay is improving, and I'm absolutely loving it. It's so addictive, this game. Do you know what makes it addictive? It's the freedom to fly around and attack the waves how you want to. You know, it's entirely up to you. You're not forced up the screen like a vertical shooter or horizontal shooter like R-Type or whatever. You know, you can attack this game in any which way you want, and that's what I love about this game. It is a fantastic game. I want to keep this cabinet now. I've decided I really do love this game so much, so I hopefully get a Defender upright, and I'll keep this Stargate MIDI because I just adore it. I think it's beautiful. So that's it on the arcade scene. Oh, by the way, Alpha One's given me a load of boards here and MVS cards, so we're going to get through them. We're going to test a few games out, arcade games, which is going to be cool, and show you all my pickups. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it. Right then, guys, before we get into all the pickups, and I've got a lot of people to thank in this video, I just want to say, since recording this video this morning, I managed to get 120,000 on Defender. So I've got 3 scores over 100,000 now, which I'm really chuffed with. I'm so happy with. But I'm not surprised, because I'm down here probably playing it 20 times a day, just constantly playing it. I'm addicted to it. I just find it an amazing game. I think the attraction for me is the fact that you can attack each wave however you want to. Is that sense of freedom in Defender, which you don't get in many shooters. You know, you're constantly pushed up the screen with a lot of vertical and horizontal shooters. With Defender and Stargate, you can attack it whichever way you want to. And for me, every game's different, and every mistake is yours. And yes, it's hard, but if you put the time into it, you can start to progress. Your skill level starts to go up, and I really do feel like I'm starting to command the game a little bit better. All my smart bombs are in the right place. I'm taking out the landers in the appropriate order, and I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying playing it. So I'm not surprised my scores are going up, and hopefully will carry on going up. You know, 500,000 would be my goal. If I could get that, it'd be amazing. But that's a long way off yet. The only problem is with that cab, because it is so small, is I'm actually getting callus on the end of my hand here, because it's leaning on the edge of the control panel. So I need to get a pumice stone and keep rubbing that down every night. But absolutely loving it. It's brilliant. So that's one really cool thing that's happened. The other really cool thing that's happened, which I haven't mentioned, which I got news of about 2 weeks ago now, is I'm finally getting an operation on my arm, guys. So for those of you that are new to my channel, I moved into this property 7 months ago, and within a week of moving in here, I broke my arm. Not just a fracture, I literally broke it in half here, snapped it in half, fell off the top of the ladder trying to get a Sega Mega Drive down from the loft. And I've been suffering for 7 months now. And there's been no sign of it healing at all. There's a little bit of my blame into that, I have to admit, because I have got a little bit frustrated not being able to do anything. I'm a real doer, I like to do stuff. And I did feel 1 week that it was starting to heal, and I went out in the garden, did some gardening, and I could just feel I damaged it, so I probably put it back a month. But to be honest with you, this should have been pinned from the get-go, because the gap between the two bones is 1 inch wide. So you can imagine how much callus your body has to produce to fill that gap for your arm to heal. And in this pathetic sling that they've given me, which really is pathetic, these straps they only gave me in the 3rd month, which they should have gave me from the get-go. And really, one strap wants to be on one side of the bone where the break is, and one strap wants to be on the other side, but you can't lift them up any further. So it's not the best strap. And I don't think it was ever going to heal, to be honest with you. It's constantly moving about when you're sleeping and whatnot. So I really pushed a couple of weeks ago for them to pin it. There are risks involved, obviously, but I just thought I just can't go on like this anymore. You know, being out of work for 7 months has really, really affected me. And it's starting to get pretty drastic now, to be honest with you. So they are finally pinning my arm. In fact, by the time this video goes out, it is Thursday today. I'm going to probably release it tomorrow. I shall be under the knife, guys. I shall be in the operating theatre as you're watching this, if you're watching it Friday morning. And hopefully I will have a solid arm, a complete arm again by Saturday morning. So I'm going to be out for it for a while, guys. I'm not sure how long. Obviously we've got Christmas coming up anyway. You guys are going to be all busy with that. But I mean, hopefully, you know, within a month I'll be back on the tubes again. But just see how it goes. You know, I really this time got to take it easy, not do anything at all for 3 months, and hopefully I'll be back to normal. Fingers crossed, because I just can't go on like this. So that's the other really good news. I am under the knife as we speak. So that's that. So getting on with it now, I've got a lot of people to thank. First off is Craig Goodwin, I think his name is, for fixing my Mega Drive. Craig, thanks so much for that, mate. I really appreciate it. I think probably part of it was my lead. I had a dodgy lead, and it wasn't connecting right at all. He's given me a new lead with it, and also, yeah, I had a couple of dry joints inside, so he's resoldered some of the joints inside, and it's running absolutely fantastic. So Craig, thank you so much for that, mate. Really appreciate it. Been playing that a lot, the Sega Mega Drive. And also I've got lots of other people to thank. Lawrence, who sent me some new overlays, UV overlays for my Vectrex, because I made the stupid mistake in washing mine with detergent. Now, he did warn me when he sent the first set out, but I just totally forgot. They were really grubby, and I've just got some, I mean, it's nothing too potent. It's kind of a natural detergent, but still, it just ruined this. It just completely rubbed the whole film off the front of the UV overlay. So don't ever wash your Vectrex overlays with detergent, guys. Just give it a rub down with a damp cloth or something. Not even that. Just don't do anything. So Lawrence, thanks for that. And guys, if you want any UV overlays, go onto the Vectrex Unite Facebook page, and you'll find a thriving community of Vectrex collectors there, making all sorts of stuff, like James G. Watt, who made those extension cables for the port of the Vectrex, which I find really handy, especially with my broken arm, because I can get right in there now without having to shine a torch, which is great. The next person I want to thank is actually, let's get Paul out of the way. Paul Buller. It's not, his surname's not Buller, it's AKA Buller on UK VAC. He set me up this Retro Pi, not Retro Pi, Raspberry Pi on my CRT here. So you can see at the moment I'm playing iRobot iRobot is one of the games I used to play in the joke shop in Twickenham back in the day. I would love to have the arcade machine. Fat chance of that happening. But it is a fantastic game. One of the first games iRobot by Atari to have polygon graphics. And it plays brilliant. If you haven't played it, it's an amazing game. But really needs to be experienced on a full-size cabinet. But it plays all right. So Paul set me up with the Raspberry Pi, and I'm playing my games with a SNES controller. But the idea is to get my chic arcade stick out of the loft with my arms fixed, and I can play with an arcade stick of a lot of these arcade games. Or I could get just an adapter and put the Raspberry Pi in one of my jammer cabs. I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do, because I've been dithering over jammer cabs really. My idea really was to have all dedicated, and I still like that idea, to be honest with you, but it is handy having two jammer cabs, one vertical, one horizontal, and it just keeps the game room fresh with new games, and it is fun just testing out new PCBs, which we'll get into a little bit later, because I have got some stuff that's been given to me on loan by Alpha One. And speaking of jammer cabs, my good friend Martin is picking up a jammer cab that's been fixed by Mark today. So Martin, thanks for picking that up, mate. I really appreciate it. There'll be something for you at the end of it, because I can't drive down in my van. My van's packed up. My power steering oil's got a leak, so I can't even move. It's like driving a tank, my van, at the moment. So that's not happening. And anyway, I'm having me op tomorrow, so I can't drive. So Martin, thanks for picking it up. So I will have two jammer cabs in here, vertical and horizontal. And I'm really enjoying them actually at the moment. It's a lot of fun, especially Commando. And I've got some horizontal games as well to run. So yeah, not sure what I'll do with the Raspberry Pi yet, but it is fun just playing it on the Sony Triniton. It really is, going through all the arcade games. Obviously some don't run that well, the car games, and you know, with games with unique control systems. But yeah, it's great. It's great having it on there. Playing Outzone. Outzone, what a fantastic game. As I said, I've got an actual board of that game. It's been repaired. Can't wait to do a gameplay and review of Outzone by Topman. Fantastic game. But anyway, Paul, thank you for that, for setting it up. Next person I want to thank is, well, this is a package, a gift from a guy called Tim on UK Vac, who watches my channel. And he's written me a little letter here. I hope you're staying safe and well. I'm recently new to the arcade scene, about 3 years. I found your channel after watching John's Arcade when you did the Sky Skipper reveal. I have been watching ever since. I came across arcades by accident when I went to buy a fruit machine and saw a PlayChoice 10 for 100 quid. Blimey, that's cheap, Tim. Needless to say, I brought it and then I was hooked. Don't blame you. I never experienced Nintendo games when I was young. I was an Atari through and through. The PlayChoice 10 brought another era to retro gaming, so I recently bought an NES as my first NES console, mainly for Donkey Kong. I heard the PlayChoice 10 was a Nintendo NES turned arcade. Well, it is, but I think there's less colours actually on a PlayChoice 10 than there is on an NES. Don't know why. As you will have seen on UK Vac, I've tried to turn my hand to woodwork and I'm trying to replicate the Star Wars cockpit. Hopefully I have finished soon. Well, I can't wait to see that, Tim. It's an amazing project. I've put a few things in the box after COVID wiping. Don't worry about it. That I had duplicates of. I picked the better condition ones as I know you're a collector. Oh, that's so kind of you, mate. I'm grateful for anything, really. You don't need to do it at all. I know you've had it rough not seeing your daughter, and hopefully that is resolved. No, unfortunately, ongoing. Especially breaking that arm. So when I saw you were, so I sent you some Atari 2600 games, but the console. Sorry, misspelled. I don't know what you spelt there, but he sent me the console as well. I hope you enjoy the parcel and call it an early Christmas present. I hope you enjoy the items and keep the videos coming, buddy. Stay safe. Best regards, Tim. Favour the brave on UK Vac. Tim. Top man. So I have wanted an Atari 2600 for ages. I did have one back in the day and I haven't owned one since. Funny that, isn't it? Out of all the things you're really nostalgic about, one thing I haven't picked up was the Atari 2600. I do want a 7800 as well for Food Fight, because that is a fantastic game and a really hard game to play in an arcade machine. Well, if you haven't got the arcade machine. But he sent me a bunch of games here. So first he sent me the Junior Atari 2600. I don't know if it's an upgrade on the old Woody, is it? I mean, obviously it looks totally different. But really appreciate that, mate, because I haven't got one. So I can't wait to hook this up. Sent me a game, Donkey Kong, an adventure. Adventure's quite a game that, well, I think it was mentioned in Ready Player One, wasn't it? Because it had all the Easter eggs in it. So it's one of the first games that had Easter eggs in it. Adventure. I've never played it, but Adventure, nice cart art. Really cool cart art. So yeah, look forward to playing that, and a bunch of joysticks and a spinner. So if you've got Warlords, which is a fantastic breakout sort of clone where you can play 4 players, you can link 4 of these up. I wouldn't mind getting Warlords and linking that up to the Atari. Actually, there's 2 spinners in here. Oh, 2, didn't have to, mate. So there's 2 controllers and 2 spinners. I don't even have 2 spinners. Oh, I could have just 2 and do 2-player Warlords. So that's fantastic, Tim. And he sent me some Mega Drive games. Mortal Kombat. So it's got the blood. It's got the blood in it. Because I know the SNES version didn't have the blood, the first one anyway. Sonic 2, best Sonic game in my opinion. What do you think, guys? Sonic 2? I think it is. Mega Games 1, which has got Columns, Hang On, and Football Italia 90. So, Tim, thank you so much for that. Such nice gifts there, mate. Really appreciate it. Didn't need to do that, but it's really lifted my spirits. Thanks, buddy. The next package is from Whitney Roberts, my good pal, my bro, in the good old United States of America, Kentucky. Fantastic place. Me and Paul Buller wanted to buy a J-Rock, and the guy wouldn't deliver to the UK, so we asked Whitney if he could send it to us. So the J-Rocks went to Whitney. Then he stuck some stuff in here, some gifts in there for me with the J-Rocks. So if you don't know what J-Rock is, guys, J-Rock here, these go for about 200 quid. So basically, it's an FPGA board, so you can play Robotron, Defender, Stargate, Joust, Bubbles, and Sinistar, I think it is. Which you know, all those games are quite notoriously known for breaking down. I mean, you can get them fixed if you know the right people or you're handy yourself, but if you're not, this is a good option because it is quite reliable and it's new, it's modern. But I mean, years down the line, who knows, this might break down, but for now, it's proven to be a reliable, cheaper way of running your Robotron and Defender. So I got one of these, Paul got one of these, and hopefully when I get my Defender upright, I should be putting this in that. Or I might even put it in my Robotron, because that's a bit flaky at the moment. So that, Whitney sent that, and also he sent some games. Because I think he knew I was going to get an Atari 2600, and these are lovely boxed examples, and I've never played these, never heard of these. Keystone Capers. Look at that box art, guys, isn't that cool? So cool. He recommends, he rates these games, he thinks they're really good. So Whitney, I can't wait to play these, mate. And River Raid, I have heard of this one, pretty sure it was on the Sinclair Spectrum. Again, I love that 80s art style, don't you? It's really cool. Lovely box games. Thank you, Whitney, for that. And he also sent me a book. This book, guys, you've got to get this. Beyond Donkey Kong. A History of Nintendo Arcade Games by Ken Horitz, I think his name is. Now, I didn't know anything about this book, and I was quite surprised when I flicked through it. There's a picture of me. There's a picture of me in it, and Whitney, actually. So, and then I realised, actually, this author of this book got in touch with us a couple of years ago and wanted some inside info on the whole Sky Skipper project, which we were quite willing to give. He told us he was going to write his book. So there's Sky Skipper at Arcade Club being revealed. Do you remember that? If you were there, guys, great night that was. You know, John from John's Arcade was there, Whitney was there, and pretty much the whole of UK Fact was there. A few YouTubers as well. It was such a great night. Never forget that. And there's Whitney's Sky Skipper and me at the Atlanta reveal with Billy Mitchell, Walter Day, John's Arcade, and there was a few others there as well. So this is a very detailed description on the whole of the events that happened with Sky Skipper, right from the start when I found the board, when Mark Whiting reversed engineered the board from Popeye, right up to the reveal with detailed information from Inside Nintendo, Don James and a few others. Tells the story of Whitney going over to Nintendo of America and going into the lobby and scanning the whole machine. It's a fantastic book, it really is. And he hasn't missed anything out. It's the best, well-described article on the Sky Skipper project. But, you know, there's all sorts in here. There's stuff on R-Type, Nintendo's relationship with RM. You know, stuff on the old stuffs, radar scope, Space Firebird. You know, it's not just about Sky Skipper. Some really cool pictures there, actually. Look at that one there. You can just making a disc in the background. There's a radar scope cockpit, really rare arcade machine. Never seen any in the UK. Stuff on Sheriff as well. So if you're into Nintendo arcade games, guys, pick up this book. It's well worth the buy. So Whitney, I wasn't expecting that. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. So cool. Next up, another book. Let's do the books, right? So another really cool book arrived yesterday. This is Missile Commander by Tony Temple. Now, you know, I do the game room tours, guys. Tony Temple was the first guy I did the game room tour. So Tony Temple's game room tour #1. He is the world champion at Missile Command, and he forwarded this book to me, and he sent some nice postcards in there as well, and he signed it for me as well. To Alex, thanks for the reading. Tony Temple, and this is basically his journey to being a world champion at Missile Command, from the days that he used to play in his local CAF right up to where he is today. So I can't wait to read this, Tony. I'll probably read this in a hospital, actually. Really chuffed to get that. Next up is some books I've been wanting to get for ages. I know these have been out for a long time. You probably got them. And these are the Hardcore Gaming 101 Taito Arcade Classics. These are really good books. Nice screenshots of a lot of Taito games. I don't know if there's every single Taito game in here, but there's a lot of games in here I've never even heard of. So quite interesting for me. I went straight on eBay. That's what you do, isn't it? Oh, check that game out. Go on YouTube, then go on eBay, see if you can pick it up for whatever. Pictures there, look, of elevator action. Love elevator action. Want to get that for the NES. You know, all the early Taito games. Something I've never even heard of. It's Gun Frontier. Now, Gun Frontier, I've never heard of. So this is a vertical shooter by Taito, and I've been playing it on my Raspberry Pi, and I really do like it. So it's not your ship. Your ship has got like a gun on it, like a 6-gun shooter. It's just a cool art style, and I find the game pretty cool, actually. I wouldn't mind getting the PCB. In fact, I like the game so much, I found a Electrocoin MIDI, or Electrocoin marquee on eBay for Gun Frontier, hoping that one day I might find a Gun Frontier PCB. How cool is that, guys? Look at that. So, you know, this is an Electrocoin marquee. It's got Taito there, but these would have been on Electrocoin, Goliath, Spectrums, Midis, those sort of cabs. I think they're all the same sort of size, I believe. Roger, you told me that. But yeah, cool marquee. Even if I don't get the game, that is going on the wall because I really do like it. So yeah, check that out, guys. If you've got Main Gun Frontier by Taito, let me know what you think. I think it's really cool. That's what I love about this hobby, is you're constantly finding out new games never heard of before. Because there's thousands, isn't there? Hundreds of thousands of games we've probably never even played. So yeah, check out that book, guys. Taito Arcade Classics. Beautiful book. It really is. Yeah, Ninja Warriors, another favourite game of mine that was released on the Super Nintendo, as well as the arcade, had the 2 screens. And the other book I got was Konami Shooters. Another brilliant book. Look at the cover art on that, eh? Amazing. Just love it. Love it. Again, loads of games, little screenshots with nice little articles beside them to complement them. Quaff. Is it Quaff? Is that how you pronounce it? It looks like a Tetris game. I know Nick Berry, if you check his channel out, lovely guy. He was telling me about Quaff. Supposed to be, it's one of his favourite games. I've never played it. I've never heard of it. So it's like Tetris, but you've got a ship at the bottom and you shoot the shapes up. And you have to complete the shapes at the top of the screen instead of at the bottom. Interesting concept. Falson, is it Falson? I think that was, yes, it's for the Famicom only. I think that's how you pronounce it. Or Falson, or Fallison. I think it's Fallison. See, games I've known about, but when you see the screenshots, you think, oh, I've never played that before. So it's nice having the books. You know, we all go on YouTube to check games out, but I find books much more interesting and much better for a reference point of view. Look at that, Twinbee. Beautiful book. Can't recommend that enough, guys. It's been out a long time. I think there's others. There's Castlevania, and there's a Contra book as well that they've done. And what else we've got? Another book here. Another book. This arrived a few days ago now. I was really looking forward to this. This is a really heavy, well put together book. It's Acorn, A World in Pixels. And I do believe my good friend Pete on a retro tip is doing a video or review of this book. I hope he does, because he does fantastic reviews. Go and check his channel out, guys. Now this is where I'm going to struggle, because it's in a sleeve. I'm going to struggle getting this out with my arm. But it comes in a nice sleeve. You see that, guys? It's a fantastic book. Look at the cover art. Love it. Right from the get-go. Nice and heavy. Big glossy pictures with nice write-ups from the developers of a lot of the games. Some games now I've never heard of. Quite interesting reading about the development of some of these games. Starport. Never heard of that. You know, I played a lot of BBC Micros back in the game. Death Star. Now, Death Star is a port of Sinistar. So Steve, Cine Steve, you should check this out on the BBC Micro. Death Star, I mean, it's confusing. You'd think it's probably a Star Wars game, but it's not. It's actually Sinistar. Plays all right, actually. Quite enjoyed it. Lovely artwork again. And so, until you read about these games, you wouldn't know about them. What else can I show you? There's interviews with, you know, famous producers or developers and artists as well. And there's a lovely bit in here which I'm glad he got from Richard Broadhurst, who develops a lot of home ports of a lot of the arcade games to the BBC. He's mentioned in here, if I can find it. I can't find it. But anyway, fabulous book. If you love your BBC Micro or your Acorn Electron, this is the book to get. You guys in America probably don't know anything about this, because you had the video game crash. Us in the UK had a thriving 8-bit micro community. Sinclair Spectrum, BBC Micro and Commodore 64 were probably the ones to get in the UK. We had the BBC Micro at school. My best friend, Robert Mash, had a BBC Micro at home because his dad was a bit of a boff. So he had one. I remember going around there and playing Starship Command, which is one of my favourite BBC Micro games, and Chucky Egg, what you can see here in the background, and many more. In fact, so many more. You see my collection here of micro power games? So I'm trying to get a complete collection of micro power games now. Don't know how many there is, but I just love them. I love the box art. Stock car. So I've been picking up a few. I've got about 40 of these now. These are some of the ones I picked up recently. Pengai, which is basically Pengu. Danger UXB. Brilliant game. Really hard, but a nice little puzzle game where the floor moves. And you've got to get the... you've got to dismantle the bombs before they go, before the time runs out. But it's all about greed, really. I mean, you can literally leave the screen whenever you want to, but if you want to get the big points, you've got to go and get the bombs. So really, it's all down to you. It's a great game. Great risk-reward game. Plutonium Plunder. Unusual cover art for Micro Power. Croker, can you guess what that is? See a lot of arcade ports to the BBC Micro, which I did pretty well. Obviously, this is Frogger, and it's one of the best Frogger games. Zarm, not sure what this one is. I haven't played this yet. But I just love the box art because it reminds me of school. Just reminds me of school and going around my best mate's house to play these. Demon Decorator. I think that's a little bit like Kicks. I'm not sure. Frenzy, which I don't think it's the Frenzy you're thinking of, the Berserk sequel. I think it's another type of game. We've got Killer Gorilla, brilliant conversion or port to the BBC Micro of Donkey Kong. Brilliant game, well worth playing. Barrage, not sure what that one is. And Wall, which is a Breakout clone. So I've got a nice little collection of BBC Micro power games here, which I'm trying to get a complete set of. I love it. I love the BBC Micro. Just as much as I love the Sinclair Spectrum. For nostalgia, there's some great games on the BBC Micro. You know, Chucky Egg, Starship Commands. You've got Cybertron. Great game. Such a great game. Right, next up. Got another BBC Micro game that I picked up here. Planetoid. A brilliant port of Defender. You wouldn't think it, would you? But it actually is really good. Plays really well. All right, you get a bit of slowdown, but you actually get a bit of slowdown on the arcade version. So yeah, really cool. Really cool game, Planetoid. Really chuffed to get that. What else we got? Oh, I bought a copy of Super Hang-On for the Mega Drive because I love the game so much. I love the arcade. I'm so gutted about that machine not working. I'm so sorry, Martin. It's been sitting there. I've not done anything to it. Just literally turned it on and it's not working. So I'm going to have to make do with the Mega Drive version for now. But that's okay. Oh, this is cool. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace. It's a bit hit and miss, but occasionally you do find a little bargain on there. Now this I had as a Christmas present in the early 80s, and I absolutely loved it. It is Missile Invader by Bandai, and I took this everywhere with me, guys. I couldn't leave it alone. It was just something I took with me. I loved it back in the day. Such a cool game. The ones that I've been seeing on eBay have been going, well, they're all bite nows over 100 quid. I wasn't going to pay that. So when this came up for £30, I had to get it. And it was local as well. It was only 10 mile up the road. Got round there and the guy had it from new. I said, why are you selling it? Don't sell it then. I didn't want to take it off him. Do you know what I mean? He said, no, I've got to let things go. So he had this from new. Yes, it's honest. It's got, you know, a lot of wear on it, but, you know, it's nearly 40 years old. And it's just like a little Space Invader game, you know. But loved it as kids. It's all we had. Didn't have, you know, Game & Watch or DS's in the early 80s. This is what we had, the early LED games. And we loved them. The other game that I had was Champion Racer. Do you remember that one? The car one. That's the next one on my list to get, because I had that as a Christmas or birthday present. I can't remember, but I know I had it. And I've been looking out for that. There's a lovely box one on eBay at the moment for 120 quid, which is a lot of money, but it is a nice example in very good condition. So yeah, just want this and the other one. So they're the ones I had back in the day. Really, really nice to get that. Brings back so many memories. Just have a sip of my drink, guys, a little bit dry. Picked up a PC Engine game. Now, I don't know if you remember the last video where I had those gifts from Matt in Germany. He sent me an Armed Formation F, or Armed F Formation PCB. It didn't work. Still got to get that fixed, Matt. So I went out and bought the PC Engine version. It plays brilliantly. I mean, what a fantastic arcade conversion onto the PC Engine. I plan to do an arcade to console video of this game, because it is pretty cool actually. I love the graphics. Quite similar to Gemini Wing, quite bold, quite colourful sprites. So yeah, looking forward to doing a video of that, guys. Look out for that. We've got Vectrex game here. Silly little game really. It's not much of a game really, but it is quite a fun little cartridge, and it wasn't much money. This is from James G. Watt. You can get these if you go on the Vectrex Unite Facebook page. Get in touch with James G. Watt. He's the guy that did the extension cables for the Vectrex, and he does the frame for the UV light. So I bought this game off him, Chimney Hunt. So it's basically a Christmas game where you go down a tunnel. The tunnel's represented with squares and they're twisting and turning, so you kind of gets that effect of you going down a tunnel, and you've got to pick up all the presents on the way down, avoiding rats and bats, and I think cats. Bats, rats and cats you've got to avoid on your way down, picking up all the Christmas presents. Fun little game for what it is, you know, but it does get a bit repetitive. But I love the cartridge, because the little lights here, they light up. See those little lights there? They light up. Looks quite cool when it's plugged in. So that's really cool. Next up, we've got some nice Nintendo Famicom games and NES games. Just picking up the odd one here and there, guys. And I will get back to doing Super Nintendo videos at some point. But again, the games that I want now are so expensive. It's not going to be until I'm back to work, to be honest with you, but I do plan to return with Super Nintendo videos in the future. And once I've got Wi-Fi down here, we'll do the whole high score thing again and stuff like that. But at the moment, everything's on hold until my arm's fixed and I've got back to work. But I'm just picking up the odd things, wheeling and dealing as they do. Blaster Master, which I played on the Mini and really enjoyed it. I know it's a game that everyone rates, but I just never got round to playing it. I only paid £23 for this. Lovely boxed example with instructions, and I found this in a shop in Swindon. So I've been on the hunt for retro game shops near me, and I was quite surprised and happy to see that there was two. There's one in Wantage. Can't remember the name of the shop. It's quite expensive, but it's got quite a nice selection of retro games. Actually, I bought that Castlevania on the Game Boy Advance in there. But the one I really like is in Swindon. It's called Retro HQ, I think, Retro Game HQ. And from the front, it looks like a guitar shop. But in the back, he's got loads of NES games, PS1, everything retro. No modern stuff. Okay, maybe the odd Switch game. But it's mainly retro stuff. The guy in there, Peter, lovely guy, started chatting to him. He's planning to do like a arcade console kind of lobby upstairs where people can come, have a cup of coffee and play some games, like a retro night, if you like, which I wouldn't mind doing or helping out with him, really. Maybe take some of the machines down there would be pretty cool. It's only 10, 15 minutes up the road. So I bought this game off him. And really chuffed to get that. So, Peter, nice to meet you. If you're watching, thanks so much. And hope you get your retro game night sorted. If not, guys, go and check him out. Next game I picked up is on eBay. It is Gunsmoke. Lovely box example of Gunsmoke. A game that was recommended to me by Dave, Retro Dave or Pinball Dave, Pin Arcade Dave. We get there eventually. It's one of Dave's favourite games, and you know what, it is a really cool game. It is a cool game, so I was actually quite chuffed to get the box version of it. So basically it's just like Commando, but set in a Western, and you've got guns, you can shoot down the middle, left and right, which really needs 3 buttons really. I can't remember how that works on the NES, but it's a really cool game. So 2 really nice NES games. And then we've got some Famicom games I've picked up. A lovely boxed example of Dragon Spirit, one of the Namco series. Lovely box art. So a lovely little vertical shooter for the Famicom, and in fantastic condition with all the manuals, inserts and cartridges in good condition as well. Got a sticker on there, never noticed that. If it's official sticker, might be. It does look like an official sticker. See that Namco sticker? And there's a little sticker down there as well. They look, maybe that came with it. The guy stuck it on there. Still, I like it. It's nice. Very nice. Now, here's a really cool game. If you haven't played this, I recommend this one. It's Hector 87. I think it got a North American release. Not sure if it got a PAL release, but it's a fantastic. I think it's horizontal, then it goes vertical. But I love the graphics, and the gameplay is really cool as well. It's not too difficult, but look at the box art. I would have bought that back in the day just for the box art, as we did, didn't we, as kids, picking up those Sinclair Spectrum games, because there was no reviews, was there, on any of those games in the early 80s. You had to mail order a lot of the Sinclair Spectrum games. Didn't know anything about them. You literally bought the game on the box art. And I still do to this day, isn't it funny? I even buy arcade games just for the side art. I've done it before. Cosmic Gorilla, not much of a game. All right for 10 minutes or whatever, but you do get bored of it. But the cabinet art is amazing. I bought that game just for that. Sad, isn't it? But there you go. I'm a sucker for it. I love it. Next up, we've got Commando. I was trying to get the American version of this, but it's so hard to get. And customs now from America, just crazy. So I'm trying to avoid America and getting imports. This one come up, UK, Famicom, port of Commando. Weird box art on that. It's almost like a toy they've taken a picture of, superimposed in a picture in the background. Very nice conversion. Another game I'd like to do arcade to console video of. In fact, I will do once I get everything set up. So yeah, nice addition there to the Famicom collection. And I think this is the last item I picked up. Everyone did a video on this. Everyone was waiting, going crazy for this. I thought there's so many videos up there. I was going to do a single video on this, but I thought, you know what, everyone's done it. It is the Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers Anniversary Edition Game & Watch. And it's got, obviously, the NES versions of the game on there. I don't know why. I'm not going to play Super Mario Brothers on this. I've got the NES Mini. I've got the Switch online service. And I've got it probably on a Game Boy Advance. So for me, for them to put that on there was a bit of a silly mistake. I would rather they put a collection of Game & Watch games on there, because that's what people want. Because they're so expensive to buy. You know, would have been better. It wouldn't have been hard to put 60 Game & Watch games on here instead of that game. Because everyone's got Super Mario Brothers on some console or handheld variant or another. But still, I love it. It's really nice. Screen is crisp. And it's just a lovely Nintendo item. Which is just lovely to get. This is what Nintendo do best, isn't it? They just do lovely things like this. People are even starting to mod these now as well. Again, I don't know why. You know, you're not going to play those sort of games on here. Why just mod your, I don't know, mod your DS or something, you know. But yeah, there you go. Lovely, lovely item. That is it. That is all my pickups. Just want to show you some things. So I went and delivered this cabinet to my good friend Fraser, the Golf arcade machine. And on my way, I picked up some PCBs from my friend Alpha One. And I said, do you mind if I borrow some of your PCBs? Because he's got loads. And he didn't know what he had. So he just gave me a bunch of stuff. There's a whole box down there. But I'm hoping to go through them with you when I get the other jammer cab here. When Martin delivers it here, we can go. Because I think a lot of them are horizontal games. Especially these. All the Neo Geo games are horizontal games. But he's given me Polestar, which is a really cool side-scrolling shooter. Shot Troopers. Again, a horizontal game, but it is a vertical shooter. Bit of an odd one, that, but it does work. Great game, Shot Troopers. I can't wait to play it in an arcade machine. Windjammers. Fantastic game. Really is such a great game. Really cool. Can't wait to play that. And a game I've never heard of. Do you know anything about this game, guys? Can you tell me in the comments below? It is Cyberlip. Don't know what it is, but I've heard from someone it's good. So this is in my Neo Geo 1 slot to jammer. So this will plug straight into a jammer cabinet. Any of these MVS carts can be played on a jammer machine, which is really cool, instead of a Lord's Vale or something like that. And there's a whole box of PCBs over there as well. So it would make a fun video, which I will do when my arm's fixed, to go through all these games in one video and just see what he's like. I think he sent me some dirty stuff in there as well. You know, those silly Japanese poker games, you know. Yeah, whatever. It'd be fun to go through them. That is it. That is it. This is already 45 minutes long. A long video. But guys, I hope you all have a good Christmas. I know it's been a really difficult year for everyone. I think everyone's can't wait to see the end of this year out. I can't. And it's, you know, a lot of people in different tiers, so you can't see your family at the moment. Doesn't matter. Don't stress out over anything, you know. It's just not worth it. For one day, it's not worth it. Just have a good time. Drink lots of wine, lots of booze, eat loads of food, be with the kids, and just have fun. All my friends in America and in Europe, wherever you are watching this video, I hope you have a good time too. All my new subscribers, thanks so much for watching and subscribing. And hopefully see you in the new year. Definitely in the new year. Won't be uploading until then. And hopefully I'll have a new arm. A robotic arm would be cool, wouldn't it? Or a hook. Anyway, that's it for this week. Have a good Christmas, and I'll see you next week.